guys, welcome to another day of Fox 5 Live. I'm here in the studio on this Monday. We're just getting a note right now that we're hearing some source come in, but I want to get into what we're doing today and who I'm with today. Intern Ben is here. You know him. If you've been watching, let's take it live inside. All right, we're going to be taking you around DC and around the country and around the world for today's live news and anything that's breaking for you guys to check into it. But first, happy Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. We are here ready to rock and roll for another week and just see what's going on this week. If we have anything breaking, anything really interesting, compelling, we're going to bring it to you guys live so you can just check in. So hope that you can kind of watch us, stream us on your lunch break, stream us on your phone, YouTube. We're on our website as well, fox5dc.com. And yeah, happy to be here for another Monday. What's up with you, Ben?
Not too much today, but you know, just ready to get this thing rolling.
Awesome. All right, so we got some live stuff coming in right now. I want to catch this before it goes away.
Attention station, the source on X Live Channel 1 is
all right.
KMOV. Most clear to see KMOV have taken live.
Looks like
this shot is embargo to KTVI.
There is some.
Streaming is not permitted.
Okay, we're just receiving word that we don't have permission to stream this particular one. So we're gonna actually take you guys. We're gonna stay locally. If you guys are familiar, if you maybe you're from here, maybe you're around our area. If you watch, let us know where you're watching from in our live chat. We're happy to chat with you, call you out, give you a little shout out from where you are. If you're familiar with Maryland or Prince George's County, obviously part of the DMV area, state's attorney in Prince George's is Angela Alsobrooks. I actually had the pleasure of meeting her a few times when I worked in Prince George's County. She's running for county executive, and she's a super cool lady, really spunky and vibrant, and she is just moments ago made this sort of announcement officially with a little speech behind the podium. So let's go check in to that. This was just moments ago, guys.
Looks like I've come to a place this morning where the victory is already in hand. This seems like a celebration. So we just probably need to go and sit you in your office so you can be about the business of this county. I'm going to be brief. My responsibility this morning is to introduce the individual that's going to introduce our candidate, Miss Angela Alsobrooks. But I'd like to take just a few seconds to say, oftentimes when our children reach certain heights, when they reach benchmarks, like when they complete high school and they go off to college, and we celebrate them, and we should, but we don't often look to see where was the environment that they came from. Whose feet did they sit at? Who was the teacher? What mother nurtured that child? And I think that being a person who is involved in juvenile justice, if we went back to those models in our communities, the best practices, things that we call best practice now, they are those things that our grandmothers and our grandfathers instilled in us. And so as I introduce my more than 50-year friend, I'm reminded when we were little boys, and you would always find this brother with a book. And this, I'm talking about the 50s, that he read books for entertainment. And so his conversations were always enlightening conversations, because in the neighborhood, he always had more information than anybody else. And so if there was a question or a debate or you needed information, then you sought this individual out. And so if he came from that kind of environment, and our candidate came from that kind of environment, then you can see through her mom and her dad where she got the zealousness and the fortitude and the intellect to accomplish the things that she has done. So what I'm going to do, last week I was at the NAACP for the first time. And I think, I don't want to say his name wrong, but I think it's Reverend Browner, if that's not the thing. Yes. And he see, folk know. And he read scripture. And the scripture that he read was from Isaiah 10, and it captured me as I sat in the audience. And the scripture went like this. Isaiah 10, I think it is. Woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, to deprive the poor of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed of my people. making widows their prey and robbing the fatherless. What will you do in the day of reckoning when disaster comes from afar? To whom will you run for help? Where will you leave your riches? Nothing will remain but to cringe among the captives or fall among the slain. Yet, for all this, his anger is not turned away. His hand is always upraised. And so this is the environment. This is the integrity. This is the walk that my 50-year-plus friend has always been in this environment. And I stand here in absolute honor to share the introduction on this day. You have made your daddy and your parents and your community, young lady, so proud. And I'm humbled and honored to be able to introduce that man that used to hold your hand and take you to the ice cream truck, James Alsobrooks.
Let the church say amen. Good morning. As my granddaddy used to say back down in Waynesburg, North Carolina, great day in the morning. It is a real honor to stand before you to welcome all the friends, family, neighbors, supporters. We're just so honored and so pleased that this journey has come this far and that most of you have been there every step of the way. At my age, Raheem gave the age away, I was going to say I was 30. But at this age, I've learned to not call people out individually because my mind is going to fail me somewhere along the trail. However, I am going to, with your permission, break protocol and just acknowledge two people or two groups that are here. One is her sorority, who she is so very proud of, Deidre Abood. And the other is her true mentor, the Curry family, Sheila and his son. So I'd like to welcome you to our home, to our community. And I was asked to just come up and say, do you think you can introduce Angie? So I'll give it a shot. So they said, so I said, well, what should I do? So someone suggested that I maybe say a few things about Angela, my daughter, and Angela, the candidate. And Angela, my daughter, and Angela, the candidate, are the same person. I'm happy that she has reached this point so far because I've seen the qualities that I think will make her a good public servant develop over her lifetime. I think back to the first time I was going to go to school and they were going to have to call Child and Family Services on me because they had sent a report home saying that Angela was in school talking. So my wife and I went up there. So I said, baby, you just watch the door. I got this. So we went over and we started talking to the teacher. The teacher said, yeah, she was talking. I said, but what she was doing, she was helping her classmates. I said, what? So then I had to smile and pretend like I knew what was happening. So Angie has had a sense of empathy, a sense of sharing. She's always had a giving heart. She also had a little law enforcement in her too. One Christmas, my wife and family, we were at Iverson Mall. And for those of you that remember, when Iverson Mall was really Iverson Mall, we were in Woody's, just knocking around, and we happened to be my wife was in the crystal department buying some gifts. when Angie hollered out right beside the store detective, "Mama, why is that man sticking that vase under his coat?" So she had a little law enforcement early on too. But you know, I'm gratified. I'm truly gratified. My family is gratified. And by the way, before I go any further, let me say that if I, in my excitement, say I, understand that I'm saying we, none of this could have been possible. Could you just stand for a minute, baby? Yeah, we're a team. Like Sam and Dave, we just don't sing. You know, I started to think that all things were possible when she was in the 9th grade at Banneker Junior High School. And she came home and sat down. She'd always been, you always had to pull conversation out of her, but if you tried, you could get it. So she announced to her mother, her sister, and I, she had a plan. We said, "That's great, baby. Whatever it is, we hope that it'll keep you on the honor roll." She said, "I'm going to run for citywide treasurer this year." And said, by the 12th grade, I want to be president of the citywide student government. My child! So, you know, we watched, and she started to, with the help of a lot of the support staff at the school and the community, she started her journey. So finally, lo and behold, in the 12th grade,
Guys, we're going to take this ceremony instead right now. This is live. You can see Vice President Pence arriving in Eastern Europe at another location. He is there kicking off a 3-country visit. It started over the weekend, so let's check in. Yeah. So once again, you're watching this arrival, guys, of the Vice President. He kicked off his Eastern European tour this weekend, and now he's headed to the country of Georgia. He'll be highlighting the U.S.-Georgia strategic partnership. His wife, Karen Pence, will be visiting with patients of an art therapy program. And then they move on to Montenegro, the 3rd stop on their 3-country tour. And you can see this quite ceremonious arrival over here in Eastern Europe, guys. Enjoy. So pretty cool here, guys. You're watching. We don't have a lot of footage on this. Looks like they're kind of jumping around, but we'll take you out of this shortly. But this arrival of the Pences in Eastern Europe, in the country of Georgia, then on to Montenegro, and it's pretty cool. The Vice President's wife, Karen Pence, gets to highlight her initiative, which is art therapy, and she's actually going to an exhibit of paintings that's inspired by Robert Frost poems at one of the museums in Georgia. So I thought that was kind of a cool tidbit of information of how she is being able to forward, I guess, her initiative here in Eastern Europe. So that's what we're kind of following now, guys. We're going to take you back over locally in just a moment here to, let's come back to Prince George's County, where State's Attorney Angela Alsobrooks made a nice speech this morning just a few moments ago. She's running for county executive. We just heard that word last week. And today there was a little opportunity for her to speak to media and to some of the local county residents there in Prince George's. And you're pretty familiar with Prince George's County, right?
Yes.
You grew up near it.
Yes, I grew up in the area.
In it, yeah.
I've been living in Prince George's County for about 10 years now.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So I know pretty well.
So the figures are a little more known to local. So if you guys aren't particularly local to here, the names may not resonate with you. But we heard a few weeks ago that Rusher Baker, the county executive, was stepping down, and now she is running. So we're going to bring you that speech now, and then we'll keep an eye on other stuff that's breaking, guys, and we'll break in if we have something else that's live for us to cover.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to go right to this speech, and we'll be right here watching, and be back with you guys in a bit.
Citywide student government president. So my wife and I got her and said, baby, come on, we got to get you right. You representing all the Alsobrookses. So we took her and we bought her a business suit. My wife got her some heels and got her hair done. And a friend of ours even volunteered to be her press photographer. So we went over to, the election was at Fletcher Johnson over on Benning Road. So everyone got up and gave their speech. So Angie gave hers. So when the results were read, lo and behold, Angela Denise Alsobrooks was the new student government president. So my wife and I said, baby, look, act like you expected this. Let's go up front with a little class and dignity. She said, sure, Daddy. Yeah! And the thing that's amazing is that she still has that same enthusiasm there. She still has that passion. So with that, I'm going to introduce my daughter and the next county executive, Angela Denise Alsobrooks.
Good morning. Before I go another moment, there actually is one other person, believe it or not, connecting the story. Dr. Word, Dr. John Word, was actually my student government advisor. And he has been so generous to come by today. He's the person who said, you know what, I think you can make it. I think you can contribute. And he followed me not only from high school, 9th grade when he met me, he also showed up at my law school graduation. So I have been so immensely blessed by people who have stood by me. Dr. Word is here this morning, and he's going to say a few words. Thank you so much, Dr. Word.
On occasions like this, Frederick Douglass Haynes III would say, I'm hallelujah happy and peacock proud. This terrific theologian and prolific preacher knows simply that it's Angela's time. I'm excited because Angela Alsobrooks is going to be the next county executive for Prince George's County. I'm excited because I know that Angela is intelligent, wicked, smart. She's honest. She has integrity, determination, discipline, dependability, and grit. She's a tough cookie, and she'll fight for the citizens of Prince George's County. As you've heard, I'm John Word. I'm a longtime educator and resident of Prince George's County. Today, I stand before you representing educators in Angela's life. You know, all educators want to see the fruits of their labor blossom and shine brightly to the fullest realization of their God-given potential and talent. The accomplishments of our next county executive have exceeded those of her teacher. As an educator, I know that a child's first and most oftentimes most significant teacher is her parents. And I want to take just this moment, as Raheem has done, to commend and thank Angela's parent and the community of family for providing a stable, loving, supportive environment for Angela to grow and flourish. Let's give those folks a round of applause. as you've heard, I met Angela when she was involved in student government in high school. In those days, it was early in my career, and I served as the citywide advisor for student council in the city. The students had to win, they had to campaign and win at the local level. Then they had to move on to the regional level, campaign and win. Then they had to go to the citywide election. You've heard a little bit about that. And so it was a big deal. Fletcher Johnson was packed. Each school, there were about 150 schools, and each school would send about 6 electors to cast their votes. Each student, each candidate had to make speeches. Angela's speech and her presence so wowed the audience that it catapulted her to the top of the heap. I had the privilege of working with those citywide offices. This was 30 years ago. Angela distinguished herself among her peers. In 1987, as you've heard, she was elected treasurer. In the following year, she was elected president. As a student leader, she was the voice for all students in the district. And we had the opportunity to travel with her to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Buffalo, New York. And these were participants in the National Association of Students Council's summer conference. These were some of the brightest minds and most accomplished students in the country. There were students from abroad attending the conference as well. I can't tell you how proud I was of Angela and our delegation. You know, today, as much and perhaps more than ever, we need the intelligence of Angela Alsobrooks. We need the honesty of Angela Alsobrooks, integrity, determination, the dependability and grit. These are the qualities that I have seen sustain her over the years. So it is beyond happy and proud that I announce and support the candidacy of my former student leader, the next county executive of Prince George's County, Angela Alsobrooks. Let's go get him, Angela.
Before I say another word, I have to tell you, first of all, how overwhelmed I am. And I have to just take a moment to stop and acknowledge the God that I serve. And to tell you that how grateful I am to him for allowing a day like this. I am so, so grateful. And I say to all of you all, good morning and welcome to Lansing Drive in Camp Springs, Maryland. This is the place where I grew up. And it's a place that I still call home. It is the place where I learned the values of family, community, and service. So with my family by my side, as they have always been, I picked this time and this place to announce my campaign to be your next county executive for Prince George's County. I often tell the story, and many of you have heard about her, of my great-grandmother, Maybelle James, a woman who 60 years ago was forced to flee Seneca, South Carolina, after the local sheriff killed my great-grandfather, J.C. James, and said that if we didn't leave, they'd kill the whole family. To protect my family, my great-grandmother, as well as other family members who are actually present here today, headed north, looking for a place to restart a life for our family, in peace, with dignity, and with the opportunity for future prosperity. She came to Fairmont Heights, right here in Prince George's County. She could see the promise of Prince George's County. My great-grandmother was a strong woman, deeply spiritual, and I was so very, very lucky to get to know her. She was born in 1897. I remember listening to her stories about the obstacles and the prejudices that she faced. She'd often sit with me, read the Bible in the bed, and she also wrote me letters. And in those letters, she'd urge me to remember to always keep God first and to be a woman of character. She also didn't tolerate excuses. My great-grandmother would say to anyone in our family who complained, You don't have the right to complain about the things that you don't like. If you don't like it, you go further and you do better. In other words, if you see things you don't like, you change them. This message was reinforced by my parents. My mom, who just retired a little over a year ago, after 50 years, she was a receptionist when she retired. And she had the single strongest example of a work ethic that I have ever seen in my life. Combined with my father, who you heard from this morning, who, in spite of not having the opportunity to graduate from college, to this day remains the smartest man I have ever known. My dad worked in sales and also was a distributor for the Washington Post, and I learned so many life lessons from both of them. They instilled in me the importance of hard work, perseverance, and treating everyone with dignity, regardless of their position in life. And I stand here today, a product of their sacrifices. And I am so humbled by the opportunities provided me and the values that I learned in this house. From these lessons and opportunities, I have been able to embark upon a career in public service, rooted in the unwavering belief that strong integrity and character matter. Demonstrated leadership matters, and being able to get things done matters. In 2010, I went around our county talking to many of you and our neighbors about a vision. At that time, I asked you to envision a transparent criminal justice system, a criminal justice system you can trust, and a criminal justice system that believes that being smarter on crime is as important as being tough on crime. Indeed, I ask you to envision a criminal justice system that works for you and not against you. In 2014, I went door to door. My volunteers thought I was crazy. We were unopposed. I went door to door, metro stop to metro stop, mosque to mosque, and church to church, asking you to continue that vision. Today, we are here for the next chapter, to fulfill our promise. All of the values that I learned right here in Prince George's County are the reason I'm running for county executive, and it's what I'll focus on if elected. I know Prince Georgians. I have worked with you, I have learned with you, I have worshiped with you, and I have even grieved with you. And I believe that all of us want the same thing for our families. A safe community, a quality education for our children, security and stability for our aging relatives, and good paying jobs for an eager workforce who are looking for a hand up, not a hand out. These are not new concepts, but for too long, our focus has been on the potential of the county. It is not enough for the county to have great potential. The just around the corner, on the brink, we're almost there, have caused expectation fatigue. It is time for us to realize the dream. It is time for us to fulfill our promise. A major part of fulfilling our promise starts with our children. Be clear. We cannot fulfill our promise until they fulfill theirs. So it can never be good enough to just get by or to have mediocre schools. This is the soft bigotry of low expectations that one of our presidents spoke of. We want to create opportunities for this generation of children and all those who follow so that they will want to raise their families here. And be clear again, we will be judged for our actions over the next 4 years by looking at not only how we are perceived, but how we perceive ourselves 10, 20, and more years into the future. So my vision is to ensure that we are both a beacon of hope and opportunity and a place where all people, regardless of their station in life, can realize their dreams of a safe and nurturing environment filled with infinite possibilities. We will fulfill that promise for the residents today and for those to come. I have spent the past 20 years getting myself ready for the challenges ahead. I have learned to work hard, set goals, and achieve them. I have done that as your state's attorney, and I will continue to do so as your county executive. And we will continue to be proactive, not waiting for solutions to come to us. As state's attorney, whether it's making sure we use best practices to crack down on crime or reached out to engage the community to prevent further crimes from occurring, we've always tried to keep our eye around the corner. And guess what? We haven't just talked about our challenges, we've gotten things done. When we saw that the majority of violent crimes are being committed by a small number of offenders, I created the Strategic Investigations Unit, responsible for tracking and prosecuting those repeat offenders and ensuring they receive sentences that fit the crime they've committed in their criminal past. Through that and other programs, I'm proud that we played a major role in the record crime reduction we've seen over the last several years. We are sitting right now at the lowest crime rate that we have seen since the 80s. But I am even more proud of the work we've done to prevent future crimes. Two of the programs I'm most excited about are Back on Track Prince George's and the I Belong Here initiative. Through these two programs, we have given people a second chance and provided them an opportunity to learn skills that will keep them gainfully employed, and we have taught our children the importance of staying in school. These are just two programs where support, character, and life skills development and guidance have changed the future and fortune of a person who would otherwise lack the opportunity to fulfill their promise. Make no mistake about it, our obligation to our children is sacred. It is our obligation to invest in them and to ensure that they are taken care of and protected, because without this, they will never realize their full potential. Not so long from now, my daughter Alex will head off to college. And when I look into her eyes or the eyes of the kids I've met all across this county, I see the overwhelming potential each one of them has. Surely, these are our future doctors and lawyers and professors, but they are also the leaders who will one day guide our county and our country, and they are the mothers and fathers who will raise the next generation of Prince Georgians. In my administration, we will not judge our commitment to education just by the dollar figure our county spends. We will focus also on how hard we work to make sure we're getting the most out of that money. Just like we've done before, we will stop using resources on what's antiquated and not working and push for innovation wherever we can. We must invest in pre-K education. Too many of our children are already behind before the first day they start school. And if our children have not achieved literacy by the 3rd grade, the staggering statistics tell us that they are 4 times more likely to drop out of school. We should be doing more and more to prepare our children to succeed in school, getting them started on the path to a higher education before they're even there, and beginning to arm them with the skills and training that they'll need to get a job. We must also address the digital divide, because we have children who are not prepared to face the 21st century because their computer skills place them behind their counterparts. We must look for partnering opportunities with business, software, and technology companies to ensure that every child can be made ready to enter the workforce of today. And because I believe education shouldn't just be about the books you read and the facts you learn, but also about helping to shape the people you become, I support teaching character education in our schools, emphasizing positive values like hard work, self-determination, and respect for others. And now, anyone who doesn't understand that can just look at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to see what happens when you're raised without learning these values. Our educational priorities must also include lifelong learning opportunities. Whether it is a person who has lost a position due to automation or because of the changed work environment, we cannot cast any person aside. Part of business attraction is creating the job-ready workforce, and that comes from retooling and re-educating adults also as necessary. And that is why we must invest in workforce development. Prince George's County is the only large jurisdiction in the whole state that does not spend a single penny in this area. And this must change. If we are to succeed as a county, we must recognize the 3 principal pillars on which our success is hinged: safe communities, a strong and vibrant commercial tax base, and quality education. All 3 are needed to build and maintain a successful community, and all three must work in concert in order to make sure that our county can be what it should be. Our administration will have a laser-like focus on job creation and job retention. We will also extend the reach of our government to help small, local, and minority businesses, ensuring that they are afforded all the opportunities and resources they need for their businesses to grow and thrive. The American dream, I promise you this, will be shared by all of us. Whether you got here 46 years ago like me or 45 days ago, the table of opportunity will have a seat for you. And we must continue to work with all of our government partners to help restore blighted areas. For example, when the sanctuary at Kingdom Square wanted to revitalize the Hampton Park Mall, we first had to bring our resources together and work with the surrounding hotels to rid them of prostitution and human trafficking. And also, we must invest. As we've invested in businesses, we have to invest in our citizens. Because what good are investments in buildings if we do not take care of the people who are inside of them? So we will continue to focus on economic development, but we will also...
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. It's good to see you on the stream. I'm just cutting in for 1 second here. This speech was earlier this morning, just a little bit ago. Angela Alsobrooks here, the state's attorney for Prince George's County, is running for county executive. I thought that was quite interesting too when she brought up the White House and President Trump. I didn't expect that. I actually hadn't seen that portion of the speech earlier, but nice of you guys to note that. And thanks for listening in so attentively. We can chat about it more, but I'll keep you guys here. And then we're going to have another special live event coming up at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So stay with us. We'll come back into the studio after the speech.
Trash collection and cleaning up the litter on our roadways. As we confront each of the challenges we face, I will hold people accountable and demand real action and results. We will make whatever changes we need to deliver on our promises. And I promise you, we will never settle for anything less. I will also continue to be there for you as an active and involved member of our community. I have always believed that a leader cannot serve others unless they are present and listening. You will always know how to reach me, and I will always be there for you and for your families. I have said that some of the best ideas and solutions come from the very citizens affected by the issues. If we stop, take stock, and listen to them, we can achieve more and reach ever higher. That is who I am, and that is how I would serve as your county executive. And let me say this. I didn't just start working on these issues in 2017. I have been on the front lines and have delivered results. I will continue to work across communities, collaborate with all stakeholders, and find common ground and purpose. I will act as a bridge between diverse positions and stakeholders. I will work with anyone, regardless of their position or political affiliation, to get the job done. This house behind me is more than just 4 walls. It is a temple of learning, a place of safety, a home with a strong foundation. It produced love, support, guidance, dreams, and success. And it is a metaphor for our county. This is our house, Prince Georgians. This is our house, Prince Georgians. This is our house, Prince Georgians. My great-grandmother came here because she saw the promise. And now, 3 generations later, we have the opportunity to fulfill that promise. And we will do that with excellent schools. We will do that with safe streets and enough guidance and room to dream for all of our children. This is how we will fulfill our promise for each and every resident, from Fairmont Heights to Fairwood and beyond. It is our time. Thank you for all that you do to make Prince George's County the place it is. And I want to thank all of you from the very bottom of my heart for the support that you have given me and will continue to give me during this campaign. May God continue to bless all of you. May God bless your families, and may God continue to bless Prince George's County. Thank you. Come on, stir it up. Stir it up. Stir it up. Stir it up. Hey!
So
God
there we
bless
go,
you
guys.
all.
The speech there by Angela Alsobrooks just about less than an hour ago in Prince George's County. We were just noting it's really cool to see a woman up there being so passionate and kind of connecting to her constituents. Sort of the softness of a woman, I think. I mean, not to get at all sexist about this, but
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I like, like her points on, education, like really like pushing that for like the younger generations, because, nowadays you don't really have too many people sitting with their kids at the table, actually working with them. And I think like she pointed out education, which is a huge thing in society. You need it regardless of what you're doing, and where you're headed to.
There's like a maternal instinct about her
Yeah.
too that she brings to the people in Prince George's.
Yeah, she's not only, speaking from, a council member, but she is also speaking as a parent, So, I feel like her as a woman, she's like setting a good example for her community and for, her campaign for people to vote for her.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Anyway, guys, happy to bring you that this morning. Just happened a little bit ago over in Prince George's County, just over the border. But speaking of sort of the area, the DMV area, this weekend, it was a pretty violent weekend in D.C.
Yes, it
I don't know if you guys saw the stats at all. It was something like 9 were shot, 2 dead in a violent D.C. weekend this weekend. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about it on my way up here to work. This weekend was pretty crazy. I believe it was Saturday or Sunday when all the shootings actually happened at the same time, like around the same time, within 24 hours of each other. One actually happened like near my sister's house, and they had to like block off the street, and we had to go around just to drop her off at her house and everything. So we kind of seen a little bit of it, but
close to your sister's place.
Yeah, but we didn't really know what it was. We knew it was a shootout, but we didn't know exactly what.
Wow. So it was a shootout. It was a string of shootings over the weekend, guys. Apparently, 9 people were shot in the district in 6 different incidents from early Sunday into Sunday night. Sometimes we see this, and it's really terrible to hear about, but just the high number of victims, really, and violence in the city. No arrests apparently have been made in these incidents.
On Edge Live Channel 2, we're bringing you to San Francisco, California, where there's a SWAT situation.
We are getting a source in
going on
from San Francisco.
If you take this live, it can be streamed on social media.
All right, let's check in with this. Apparently, there's a SWAT situation going on in San Francisco. There's probably a reporter there to give us some updates, but let's check in and see what's up, and we'll look up some more information about this. But just to recap, talking about DC violence, guys, there's not a lot of evidence that the shootings were connected, but again, 6 different incidents, 9 people shot, just in that span of from morning to night on Sunday. But according to DC crime data, actually, crime is down from this time last year, about 26%. The weekend's shootings have not yet been added to that data, but interesting to see.
Yeah, I just think people just right now, and it's hot, it's summertime, people are bored, don't have too much to do, so they feel like they need to go out and act out and get noticed. And I believe that's just not the right way to do it, go out and start just shooting and going on a shooting spree.
They want to get noticed, maybe they're domestic disputes, or we don't know.
A lot of retaliation, according to, the radio station that I was listening to this morning, like either some type of retaliation, gang related, maybe, that was just speculations by police, just based off of where it was, And like, I know, like in one of the areas, there is a lot of, like gangs and things like that going on, like activities going on in the area, but, police hasn't, actually verified what exactly happened. They just know it was just a huge shootout, and they were just trying to get to the bottom of it still. So
pretty serious stuff in D.C. over the weekend, guys. Let's go over to San Francisco, where there's an ongoing SWAT situation. I don't have much more info than that, but once we do find out more, we're going to bring that to you guys live.
I am correct here. Yes. What's going on?
So, guys, we don't have a lot of information on this. We do know it's San Francisco, California. Looks like there's a reporter on site from our sister station, KTVU. So we'll see what he has to say. What other information they found out about what's going on right now. Probably pretty scary to be watching that right on the outskirts, although we don't know right now if this is contained or what exactly has happened. Let's check in.
Okay, stations, get ready for a switch.
Talk about the strategy. You're messing with people's lives, ship. You're messing with people's lives. The SWAT team is involved in these ongoing negotiations. Oh, look, action. What's that?
Car.
The car.
Family car.
So once again, guys, if you are just joining us, we're getting in this feed from our sister station from Oakland, California. This is a shot inside San Francisco. You can see that hilly city. There's a little zoom there and some SWAT officers who look like they're in the middle of some type of engagement.
Yeah, they look like they're waiting.
So it is ongoing. There's a reporter there from our sister station. He hopefully is about to do a live shot, and we'll check in there to get this. But you guys are seeing this all live, raw, and unedited video coming out of San Francisco, and hopefully, you know, this is under control. We don't know exactly where this is, if it's a residential area, if it's a business, what's going on, but we will find out more. So just checking in with you guys if you're joining us.
You see those cops like right in front of the house too. yeah, the SWAT team police are continuing to go negotiate with it.
Looks like it's not. Yeah, it looks like he's practicing for his live shot, but it sounds like it's an ongoing negotiation that they're working on. There's a couple of SWAT officers right at the door of that building. All right, we'll leave you guys here and see what we can glean from this.
Yeah, I'll call for both of them. It's with the cops. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's with Officer Robert Rueca. I forgot to tell them, didn't I? Shoot. Sorry. Officer Robert Rueca. I wasn't trying to be glib. Sorry. Officer Robert Rueca, R-U-E-C-A, San Francisco Police Department. Sorry, I was not trying to be a smartass, actually. I thought you just wanted to know who it was with, like, generally. Neighbor. Cop. We see them moving up right now, huh? They're working to get this armed man to give himself up. This man is believed. Yeah, the SWAT team is still working to get this man. It looks like they're going up to the door, doesn't it? They're going up to the door. I think they are. I think they're about to go in. You got a clean shot on the door from there? Yeah.
Out the door.
Well, they come right here.
Yeah.
You got the door. If you need the door. Okay. Yeah, good morning to you guys, and this is still unfolding here in this San Francisco neighborhood. A SWAT team negotiating with an armed man who is refusing to come out of his home, and they're trying to end this standoff peacefully here. I'll step out of the way so you can get a live look at what's going on this morning. This man who is inside this home, barricaded inside this home, we understand, according to police, that he shot and wounded a woman overnight at this home. This may have been a woman that he knows, and then he refused to give himself up to officers who arrived here at the scene and went back inside his home, and that is where he has remained ever since. This home is on 15th Street between Beaver and Buena Vista Terrace. This is right next to the tennis courts at Corona Heights Park, and here's a video that we shot just a short time ago because we saw the San Francisco Police Department's bomb squad arrived here at the scene. We don't know exactly why they are here, but we also can tell you that several neighboring homes have been evacuated in this area, and anyone who's living here on this stretch of 15th Street is being urged to stay indoors as this standoff continues. Now, this all started just before midnight when San Francisco police got a call about shots being fired at this home. They arrived, and that's when they found a woman who was wounded and had clearly been shot, but the man believed to have shot her went back inside the house and would not come out. Now, I talked a short time ago with a spokesman for the police department about what the strategy is to get him to give himself up and end this all peacefully. And now, so far, police have not been able to tell us or haven't told us the relationship between that man and the woman who was found shot and wounded this morning. But according to a couple of neighbors that we spoke with, there is certainly a relationship there. They may be family members, but we're still working on more information as far as that goes. We also don't know exactly what prompted the shooting here that happened, again, just before midnight here in this neighborhood. Close to DuBose Triangle is where we are, and you can see what you're looking at is 15th Street. It's blocked off entirely between Buena Vista Terrace and Beaver Street, right next to Corona Heights Park, as San Francisco police have a home surrounded here. An armed man believed to be inside that home, refusing to give himself up. And obviously San Francisco police and their SWAT team continuing to work to try to end this standoff peacefully. We'll, of course, stay out here and keep you updated throughout the morning. All right.
So there you go, guys. A little more information gleaned from that reporter. Apparently, this all started last night in this neighborhood. A woman was shot by flying bullets, and the man who did it barricaded himself inside his home. Looks like they're still trying to get him out, still trying to find him and get him to surrender peacefully. Ben, you were saying no.
I don't think he's coming out for a while. He knows he did something he shouldn't have done, and he knows that this is the only freedom he has, so he's gonna try to wait it out until, I guess, he gets either tired of being barricaded, and
yeah,
I don't know.
This is pretty scary. It's in the area, if you guys are familiar with Corona Heights Park in San Francisco, and I guess even the residents, the neighborhood, they were asked to stay inside. That must be a scary situation. I can't really imagine being in that, locking your doors and just kind of barricading your own self, knowing that this is going on, and it's still going on now into the morning. It's 9 a.m. over in San Francisco, and it sounds like the reporter there is going to be out there for the duration of the morning to kind of get this all in and see if they end up ending this peacefully.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I'm thinking he's going to come out probably around 4 o'clock.
Oh gosh, you got a time?
I got a time on it. Yeah, I feel like 4 o'clock is going to be the magical time. He says, you know what, I'm done with it.
Now, hopefully, I mean, you want it to end, right? You want these types of things to end, at least in some sort of resolution, some peaceful way. Often these end with, often the perpetrator killing oneself or something else violent. So hopefully nothing does become of that. But you also wonder sort of the relationship of this man and woman and what that could mean, whether, it'd be random or more of a domestic situation. So lots of questions there, but this all happened last night, now is pouring over into the morning, and we see sort of the residual effects. Nostalgic Soul, good to see you guys. Jason, what's up? Great to see you on the stream. Thanks for joining us. As long as we have this story, this will be kind of interesting to follow.
Yeah, definitely.
For the morning. Let's keep it on this as this sort of develops. If it switches, if our feed switches and we don't have it anymore, we'll take you somewhere else. But keeping an eye on this SWAT situation. If you're just joining us, coming out of San Francisco, guys, we'll be right back with you in the studio in a bit.
So funny. No, I just watched random videos. Who won that Giants Dodgers game last night anyway? Did you stay up and watch it? Oh yeah. Loving it. Your location. Let's charge my phone. This one's gonna go for a while. You guys, there's like a shot right going up the sidewalk, the right hand. I shot that. And there's always those shots. There's two right there that are like the next doorway over from the house. Right. But they aren't really.
Guys, so this is still going on if you're joining us. A SWAT situation in San Francisco. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of movement on this or what exactly is going to happen, but meanwhile, let me split this screen. We're also looking at this shot. Let me bring it to you. Down in Miami, just a bump shot of Tropical Storm Emily. Check that out. Kind of cool. Going to give an update on what's happening down there. Just a sort of a tropical storm bump shot. Yeah, a lot of clouds, rain, haze. You can tell the camera is wet there. This is, again, just a shot of Miami. And then we got sort of a zoom in there, looks like, on this ongoing SWAT situation in San Francisco. I'm sure we'll be getting some updates as he does live shots throughout the morning. Again, this is from our sister station, KTVU, bringing up us this footage live. And the reporter may jump in here and there to give us more on that. So making for quite an interesting morning, something going on. And meanwhile, we're all back in Washington, D.C. It's a beautiful, clear day. There's a live look at the Capitol Dome right here in D.C. Gorgeous day. Yeah. Finally back in the 70s. I don't know where you guys are from or where you're watching from, but let us know what it's like. And if you have any thoughts or comments, feel free to chat with us. We're just hanging out, me and Ben, in the newsroom. Let's go back to that double shot here of the SWAT situation and the bump shot of Tropical Storm Emily coming up. Hopefully not doing too much damage down there in Florida. That's what we're looking at today, guys. We'll bring you more breaking news as we have stuff coming in.
What happened? Oh, there was a shooting last night. Film, maybe? No. Yeah, in the house? In the house right there, yeah. Killed? No, injured. And I've been here. No, nope, there's nothing anybody else in the house. He just shot the woman and took her out of the court. Yeah. He wants to live, he's got to be done. Yeah. You can't get out any farther. Yeah. One neighborhood over there. Yeah. I know you won't be on music, but every day. We should have known.
Hey guys, as this all unfolds in San Francisco, we're going to take you guys back into the newsroom and kind of keep our eye on that. I want to remind you that we're actually coming up on another live event at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over here in the DC, Maryland area in Charles County. We're going to be going over to a press conference, a very quick, I believe, and to the point, no question and answer session press conference on an HIV-positive former coach and school aide who was accused of sexually assaulting boys in Charles County, Maryland, so close by here. This all kind of came out on 4th of July weekend. He was arrested on this suspicion, according to videos found and text messages found. Really scary, really sad, disgraceful situation. 30-year-old from Waldorf, Maryland.
Yeah, and he knows better.
Right. This is real bad. Accused of assaulting at least 7 boys, we're told, mostly of middle school age. He was a middle school, or I believe high school aide, and also a coach, a sports coach. We'll be hearing a press conference about this investigation and about sort of what has happened now. Now, those boys have been tested for HIV, we're hearing, and others are expected to be tested as well. I don't know any word of if any of the tests have come back positive or not, but very, very scary, sad situation.
Yeah, very sad, especially for those kids and, for those parents who have to go through something like this, and for, a grown man such as himself, being around kids, trying to be some type of role model.
Yeah. Right.
In sports, it's just terrible. It just gives a bad message, for men, just in general. But I just hope, they did hopefully next time the school does a better background check, on the people that they hire to be around children, because this is unacceptable, and it'll make someone who has kids feel unsafe to even put their kids in that school. That school might lose a lot of credibility because of this one employee.
Apparently the superintendent of those Charles County schools was horrified, apologized, of course, to parents and the community who put their faith in this employee. So we'll get an update on what is up with that. Now, Waldorf is about 25 miles southeast of Washington.
Yeah.
But still, nearby, part of our DMV kind of world, our community here. And we're going to send out, we have our photog and reporter going there live. So we'll bring you that press conference live at 1 o'clock. Once again, about the man the HIV positive man who was accused of sexually assaulting boys at this school. He was a coach and a teacher's aide. We'll get more updates on that at the 1 o'clock press conference.
Yeah.
For now, guys, thanks so much for watching our stream. We are excited to be here with you on this Monday. It's the end of July, last day of July, 31st. Going into August tomorrow. Oh, my goodness.
Time moving fast.
And with August, of course, brings hurricanes and tropical storms. Take a live look at this bump shot of the tropical storm Emily down in Miami. This is what it looks like. We're going to leave you here for just a moment. We'll be right back as we get some more sources in today on Fox 5 Live. Guys, thanks for watching. Guys, we'll check in with some updates from NASA. We have some people on the ground talking to one of the ISS, International Space Station expedition crews. And this is pretty cool to see how that all works. Obviously, just checking in with NASA TV here. Take a look. We'll split screen it here, and then we'll come back for our press conference at 1 o'clock Eastern time as well. All right, enjoy this, guys.
Very glad to see you in your space home. Wishing you everything. And Shusha is saying hi.
Hi.
Hi, Wyatt. What'd you think of that rocket launch?
It was bright and loud and interesting.
Hey, Papa.
Hi, little munchkin. Look who made it with us. Hi, little munchkin. Look who made it with us. Did you like it when we started the rocket and blasted off?
Yes.
That makes me happy because I miss you already. But I'll see you soon. Take care of Pink Puppy for me, okay? Take care of Pink Puppy for me, okay?
Show Papa that you can Pink Puppy. Oh, yes, that's right. All right. I love you. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later.
That sounds wonderful. I love you. Bye. And I'd just like to take this minute to say that was the most amazing, smooth rocket ride I've ever had. And I would really like to say thanks on behalf of the three of us to our Russian colleagues and our Russian partners who made such a beautiful vehicle. And our partners in Baikonur, our ones in Moscow, some of the Cosmos and Energia and Snimash and Zvezda and Sankey, and also the PSS people that all deployed throughout our whole trajectory. Огромное спасибо. Прекрасная collabo.
Ciao, Paolo. This is Sasha. Looking great. Great ride. Wow. I wish you the great adventure. Sorry I didn't bring the kids. They were asleep and they had enough adventures yesterday. Almost jumped in on that rocket and go with you.
Thank you, Sasha. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming and also doing the extra step again. Sorry not to see the kids, but it's okay. I mean, I think they had enough at the moment.
And for Expedition 52, congratulations once again. Just a magnificent day, and that's going to wrap it up here in Baikonur. And with that, we'll turn it back to our audio control room at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. Thank you.
Thank you to all the participants in Baikonur Station. We're now resuming operational audio communications. Have a good evening.
Hey guys, thanks for watching us here on this Monday, July 31st. If you're new to our channel, welcome to our stream. We're going to just be bringing you live sources and anything that's breaking anywhere around the country or the world. And we're monitoring our sources now. Not a whole lot coming in right now. You're looking at a live shot, a bump shot of Miami, Florida. That's what it looks like down there. All those people who want to be down there for the sunny skies, not so fast during this tropical storm season. Which we've talked about before on the show, and sort of how we're in the thick of it really now. It goes through November, and we're going to have to see where this all leads. But this is Tropical Storm Emily and its effects on the coast way down there in Miami. We're waiting also on that press conference that we told you about. That will be at 1 o'clock Eastern time about the HIV-positive school aide and coach who was arrested on sexual assault charges of young boys. So that will be just some new live information coming out from this area. And other than that, we're just hanging out in the digital newsroom.
Yeah, just hanging out. So, feel free to,
check in with us.
Check in and let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know any comments or questions. If you like our channel, you can click subscribe, that red button, so you can be part of our channel, part of our community here at Fox 5 DC. We're the digital news desk, and we want to hear from you. We'll be monitoring what's going on. Not a whole lot right now, but as we find more, we'll bring that to you. And if we have any update on the SWAT situation that I think is still ongoing in San Francisco, we just don't have anything more on that right now. We lost that, unfortunately, that feed. Yeah, we'll be checking around, guys, and be back with you in a little bit. For now, enjoy this live look at Miami, Florida, and we'll come up back to Charles County, Maryland, coming up shortly. All right, guys. Hey guys, apparently we're just getting back our source from San Francisco. If you were with us earlier, tracking this SWAT situation that's kind of still ongoing. Check this out. I'm going to bring you over there now. We're getting that view back in. Remember, this is from our sister station, KTVU in Oakland, California. This is now the shot outside that window. Looks like they're getting in a little bit closer with the camera. Perhaps we'll hear from the live shot, the reporter there, also again with his live shot to update us on the situation. But it's still ongoing throughout the morning over there in San Francisco. Apparently, the story is this happened late last night, shortly before midnight. A woman was hit by flying bullets. This guy an armed man barricaded himself into this house. And looks like we have a live look now at this still ongoing situation there. SWAT officers were surrounding the house. Yeah. Came out of their car earlier. Yeah, no real sound on this right now. But still ongoing, guys, in San Francisco. We're going to bring you this along with our other shot of the tropical storm that looks like it's kind of clearing its way up.
What a beautiful backdrop.
It is. Let's take that. There you go, guys. So take a look at both of those. Perhaps there will be some movement. I don't quite know who that man is in the window of the situation. If we bring that full screen, guys, you can see it a little bit more. Yeah, if that's someone involved in the situation or an officer of some sort. Don't quite know. That's an odd shot. I know. I wish there was too.
Talking on the phone.
If there is some more information from the reporter, we'll bring that volume up to make sure you have it. But a live look, guys, at this house that is being surrounded by SWAT officers, where apparently there's still a barricaded situation with an armed man inside. He was involved in an incident from last night. No real word on how that woman is doing either. We're watching for more updates from that station, KTVU in Oakland. Now the window is closed and the guy's going back in. So whoever that was,
yeah,
don't know.
Mystery guy.
Mystery. All right, we'll bring you both these shots, guys. Stay with us and we'll be back with you. How are we going through?
I don't know.
Hi, guys. It's Molly and intern Ben checking in with you from the digital news desk here at Fox 5 DC, and we are Fox 5 Live. Guys, you're probably seeing our headline next up at 1 o'clock. We're going to be bringing you a very important, very tragic case kind of going on. It's an important announcement revolved around this case of a local man, an HIV-positive former educator and instructor and also coach, 30 years old, from Charles County, Maryland, or rather working in Charles County, Maryland public schools before he was removed in December. Today they're going to be announcing some new charges in this case. He was arrested on suspicion of sexual assault of at least 10 victims, and he is HIV positive. So they're going to be announcing some new charges today. That's what we believe is going to be coming out today. And there's a lot of details surrounding this case about what they found on his work computer, his home computer, child pornography production, and whatnot. That's what he was charged with, actually, was second-degree assault and production of child pornography. So again, a 30-year-old man, former educator, instructor, and coach in Maryland. He was being held without bond when he was arrested, and investigators saying that there could be even more victims that we don't know about. They're urging parents, of course, in that area who have children who had any contact with this guy to make sure they talk to them and learn more. But again, we're going to be live getting an update on that situation. It's a local situation, Charles County, Maryland, just about 25 miles southeast of D.C. And 10 victims, at least 7 were identified. And a lot of this kind of came out, the arrest actually came out on the 4th of July weekend, so just about a month ago. Today we'll hear more about these charges at the press conference that's coming up at 1 p.m., which is just about now. It's almost there, so a few more minutes to go. We're going to check in with you guys and make sure we have that camera all set, and we'll go from there. But yeah, definitely a sad case out of Maryland.
Yeah, I just think, you know, whatever was going through his mind, I know he should have, like, definitely, like, thought about this whole thing and say, like, this is just all wrong. But I don't know, you know, we don't know what was going on both ends, but it's just on his end, like, he knows better. Like, he knows, like, he shouldn't have been trying to do things with younger kids, you know, like, it's just wrong. Like, that's people's children, and what if that was one of his family members getting taken advantage of like that? You know, I know he would, you know, probably step in and try to, like, stop that from happening. So for him to do that, you know, his mindset is just all wrong, and I think he deserves what he's going to get.
Absolutely. And authorities said it was determined that he was HIV positive and he sexually abused these boys at his own home and possibly at other locations. So there's still a little bit of cloudiness, a little bit of mystery surrounding this. He did sexually assault the students while not wearing protection, according to authorities. And only 2 students had been tested so far. Both of their results came back HIV negative during an early press conference in July. We'll see if some more information comes out today. I'm also hearing there is no question and answer session at this one. So hopefully we do glean those questions that we also have from that press conference. So that's coming up, guys, in just a few minutes. I'm starting to see that live shot come in. So we'll be back with that in just a moment.
right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for coming. At this time, we're going to have State's Attorney Tony Covington come.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Tony Covington, State's Attorney for Charles County. Put out a notice today because we have an update on the... You can't hear me? Oh, that's odd. It's the first time anybody's ever said that. We have an update on the Carlos D'Angelo Bell matter today. As far as the investigation is concerned, also as far as new charges. Here with me, of course, Sheriff Berry, Charles County Sheriff's Office, Kim Hill, Superintendent of Charles County Public Schools. We've gotten great cooperation from both these agencies and others. Obviously, the Sheriff's Office has been involved in this from the very beginning. They began the investigation. As soon as these allegations were made, the Charles County School Board, through Kim Hill, they did what they needed to do. They've got this individual out of the schools. They have cooperated fully and transparently with regard to this entire investigation. This investigation is not concluded. We are still ongoing. But we reached a point where I thought it was important to come before you all and let you know what the story was as far as where we are. Friday, July 28th, which is last Friday, grand jury in Charles County returned an indictment for Carlos D'Angelo Bell. That indictment was sealed on Friday, to be unsealed once Mr. Bell was served with the indictment. He was served with that indictment this morning in open court with his attorney present. And I'm going to summarize this indictment for you. Before I do that, though, it's incumbent upon me, and I feel the obligation to remind everybody of something. An indictment, simply allegations, okay? Everybody, no matter the gravity of the charges, from murder down to theft, is entitled to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. That's what our court said. It is the bedrock, quite frankly, of our criminal justice system. So regardless of the charges here, this is the beginning of the court process. Until such time as a judge or a jury renders a verdict of guilty, Mr. Bell is clothed in innocence. I just want to make that point. It's incumbent upon me to do so. This indictment carries 119 counts. It covers a time frame from May of 2015 until June of 2017, so a little bit more than 2 years. Now let me be clear here. Does not mean that conduct with regard to all of the subjects involved in here occurred from May to 2017. The time frame may be different for each victim, okay? But the overall time frame is from May 2015 till June 2017. There are 24 victims in this indictment. 13 of those have been identified. 11 have not been identified at this point. There are 11 different charge types, if you will, crimes that are repeated over and over. That's how you get up to the number of 119. I'll go through those charges for you briefly. The most serious charge as far as potential prison time is child sexual abuse. There are 12 counts of child sexual abuse. That charge carries a 25-year potential sentence, 25 years. We also have a total of 48 second-degree sex offense charges. Each one of those offenses carries a 20-year sentence. We also have 2 counts of third-degree sex offense. That's also a felony, carries a sentence, each count, of 10 years. You also have second-degree assault, 2 counts of that, carries a potential sentence of 10 years. You also have 44 counts of filming child pornography. Each count carries a sentence of 10 years. That charge is a felony. We also have 2 counts, solicitation of a minor. Solicitation of a minor. That also carries a sentence of 10 years. We also have 5 counts of displaying obscene matter to a minor. That is a misdemeanor, carries 1 year in jail. We also have 3 counts of transmitting or attempting to transmit the HIV virus to another. Each one of those counts carries a 3-year penalty. We also have 6 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. That carries a 3-year sentence for each count. And the last is distribution of marijuana. That's a felony, carries a 5-year sentence for each one of those counts. So, because of the efforts of the sheriff's office and the detectives, and let me tell you something about the sheriff's office. They've been working round the clock on this case since it came to light in late June. The serious nature of it came to light in late June, and they've done a fantastic job. You have no idea. Every time you interview a witness, there's more witnesses to talk to. It just goes on and on and on. And because of that, I will tell you that I can't predict for you when this investigation is going to be over. It's just impossible to predict it, whether it's a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year. We just don't know at this point. What I really want to indicate to you is that this indictment does not signal the end of this investigation. It is continuing as we speak. Detectives with the sheriff's office are interviewing witnesses as we speak. So the investigation will continue. Now, one of the reasons that we called this is because we still need help from the public. We still need people who know something about this case to contact sheriff's office. The number we put out before is still good. It's 1-800-CALL-FBI. Anybody knows anything about this case? Anybody needs to come forward and tell us something? Please do so, because the investigation, as I said, is ongoing. You know, it's my responsibility as a prosecutor at all times to seek justice. In cases of this magnitude, but every case really, a part of my job is to make sure that a defendant gets a fair trial. That's part of my job, it's part of my obligation. It's also, from a personal standpoint, I want to make sure that when all the dust settles on this case, whenever it is, that nobody can say Carlos D'Angelo Bell did not get a fair trial. No one can say that we tried this case in the media, that he got a fair shake. That's part of my job, and that's my intent here. And that's, quite frankly, sheriff's intent, school board's intent as well, to make sure that justice is done in this case. And because of that, I'm not answering any questions now. And let me tell you why. As soon as I start talking about the facts of the case, how this investigation went, what we're seeking in court, any of that stuff, it gives zealous defense attorneys an argument that somehow the state was trying to impact the jury pool out there. I'm not going to do that. I know that you have many questions. I know that the public still may have some questions. But I provided the information that I can, and under my ethical obligation, I provided all the information that I think I can at all at this point. So I thank you all for coming. That's where we are. And please, at your outlets, if you don't say anything else, please let folks know that the investigation is still ongoing. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you very much.
Can someone address, I know no questions, but the marijuana part, this is new, we didn't hear this before. Is there a possibility?
If I address that, I got to address everything.
Superintendent. Thank you, everybody. That's going to conclude the press conference for today. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Checking back into the newsroom here. If you're on YouTube, you just watched authorities there announce more charges on the Charles County man who has been indicted for sexual assault. He is HIV positive, and still a lot of questions remain. He was not there to answer questions today, but we do know that there are now 24 possible victims now involved in this, 13 of which have been identified. And he really named numerous counts of sexual abuse. So many that I couldn't even really keep track. I took a few notes here, but 48 counts of second-degree sex assault, 44 counts of child pornography. A lot of these counts are felonies, so they listed the time span that he could possibly spend in jail, and it's a lot. So a lot of stuff going on, but like he said, a lot of things still being looked into. So reporters obviously still have a lot of questions. We don't know a lot of answers all the way. What were we gonna say?
I just feel like he's trying to give this guy, you know, the benefit of the doubt. You know, like I like that he didn't, you know, just say, oh, he did this, he did that. Like, he kind of, you know, it's like, okay, I want to make sure it's a fair trial. So I like what the prosecutor was doing in this situation. He was being smart about it, and it's just like in disbelief. I'm just in disbelief that, you know, a guy, you know, would do this to kids and, you know, make them go through such like health issues such as HIV, which is something that people go through a lot, you know, in DC and like in different areas in different parts of the world as well.
Yeah, I was
like,
reading DC. DC used to be one of the #1. I realized I read recently that the HIV numbers have actually been curbed a little bit over the past years, which is some great efforts, I think, in the health services and stuff in the district here. But yeah, it is very terrible. What we were reading is that he did not use protection at all with his victims. And again, this is just an alleged sexual assault count, so they're still sort of looking into what exactly happened and what he will be charged with. But we're going to go over now to an event that's happening. I want to catch it before it goes away. It's live over in Phoenix, Arizona. U.S. Senate candidate Deidre Abood is running. She has been attacked in the past for being Muslim. She's talking right now to a crowd. Let's check in.
I told him I didn't put it on for him, so I didn't need his permission to take it off. Ultimately, this is what being Muslim in America is all about. Being Muslim is about the American story. Because being Muslim in America is about being free. Being Muslim in America means having the right to wear the scarf or not wear the scarf. It's about interpreting our relationship with God as individuals. Because here, no one can tell us how we must worship or how we must dress. Being Muslim in America means freedom to protest unjust travel bans, while being surrounded by Jews who protect us while we pause to pray. Because here we have a voice, and here we have allies. Being Muslim in America means the freedom to marry who we choose. To marry regardless of the person's race, religion, or gender. Because here, love means love. Being Muslim in America means the freedom to join our military to defend our country. It means the freedom to fight ISIS, who are not Muslims, as well as others who commit terror in the name of Islam. Those who commit acts of terrorism lack any understanding of God. Messages of hate, intolerance, and oppression honor no faith at all. Being Muslim in America is about being free. And it is that freedom that America has guaranteed me that makes me want to give back to my country. To ensure that all Americans are treated with dignity and compassion. To fight for universal health care and universal health care and better education. For our environment, and for social justice. Here, Even as a religious minority, I have the freedom to lead. Now is not the time to sweep the difficulties we face in our community under the rug. Islamophobic hate crimes have risen 584% since 2014. The vitriol I have faced online is not confined to the comment section. People are being attacked on the street, in the grocery store, and most frightening of all, in our legislation. I understand the fear that many Muslims have in the current climate. We must remember, however, that while Muslims may be the flavor of the day, we're not the only flavor on the menu. Now is the time for intersectionality, to learn from each other, to lean on each other, to work with communities who have faced oppression longer than we have. Our friends who are African American, our family who are LGBTQ, and our neighbors who are immigrants are on this journey with us. So whatever our own battles, we must prop up every marginalized community and confront hate wherever we see it. We must fight hate with love. Hate is a fear turned outward, and fear is just an emotion born from lack of understanding. Yes, hate can be terrifying, and it can be infectious too. It's so easy to react with hate with hate. But of course, that never solves anything and only widens the gulf between us. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other." So now let's communicate. Let us open our homes and our hearts, even to those who may initially look at us with suspicion. Let's listen to their fears and dispel those fears by being friends, neighbors, and allies, as many of us already do every day. But let's widen our circles. Let's work together. Let's have we have major problems to solve, and we need leaders with character and strength to solve them. We need leaders who don't target. We need leaders who do not target or label groups for political gain, and who call out others in positions of power who do that. Now is the time to support those targeted communities, no matter who tries to label them. You'll notice that when they're handing out labels, they never say white American. They never say heterosexual American. They never say able-bodied American. Instead, they try to label people as other. But no matter what label they try to stick on them, to stick on you, or to stick on me, thanks to the wisdom of the founding fathers, we all wear the label American. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. You may have any questions.
Are you still being harassed?
It's still online. I will say that I'm very proud that I have never been harassed in Arizona since this campaign, other than the white supremacists who decided to target a business that had a meet and greet. But even that was outside and just loud and proud. But yes, online, it's still very continuous, and usually the same small group of people. That's something that we need to understand. People that have these hateful ideas are loud and proud, but they're a small number. We totally outnumber them. Anything else?
Flake has been one voice in the Senate recently that has tried to compromise on that health. He's calling for people to come together. How do you feel about that being who you're running with?
What we need to do in the United States is start having political campaigns focused on what makes us the better candidate instead of just trying to attack the character of other people. What Flake said, I think yesterday, in addition to other things, he said that Republicans who did not speak out against the administration when they do wrong are complacent. Arizonans want to see more of that. We want more than words. We want to see the action. We do want our elected leaders to speak out when, whether it's the administration or their colleagues, target our fellow Americans. If that's it, then I will thank you all for coming. It's warm in here. Thank you all for sticking it out, but at least we did it inside instead of outside. Thank you.
So, guys, a cool press conference there from a U.S. Senate candidate, Deidre Abood. She's been in the news lately because she was experiencing a lot of hate-filled messages on her Facebook wall, on her Facebook page. She is seeking to unseat Senator Jeff Flake in Arizona, and the coolest part of the story is that he actually came to her defense. When this happened, there was a rush of a lot of negativity, a lot of hate-filled messages. She is a Muslim woman, a Muslim candidate here talking about her faith, and there's been sort of some Twitter exchanges actually from the Senator Jeff Flake, who actually we've seen quite often in the news recently. He was actually at the congressional baseball shooting, that game. He was practicing on the Republican team there, and he spoke to the press right away. So, you know, we're familiar with who he is. She's seeking to unseat him, and she found a lot of support from him on Twitter. I want to show you that tweet. It's really kind of cool to see. Let me switch this out for just a second, but here's the tweet from Jeff Flake. He said, "Hang in there, Deidre, 2018, that's her handle. Sorry you have to put up with this. Lots of wonderful people across Arizona. You'll find them." And he supported the very person that's trying to kind of take his slot.
Yeah, she's very she seems like a very powerful person, and very passionate about this new job she's willing to take on. And with all the stuff on the outside, as far as like her social media page being attacked and everything, I think she's handling it well.
Yeah,
she's doing a great job, and I think Jeff is just like commending her on that, and he's backing her.
Exactly, it's really cool. And then she went on to respond. Thank you, Jeff Flake, for leadership and rejecting behavior that doesn't reflect American values. That's how she responded to that. But kind of cool to catch her live speaking in Phoenix. I wish I kind of got her towards the beginning, but we jumped in there to make sure we grabbed some of that for you guys. But guys, if you're familiar with this or have any thoughts or comments, let us know what you think on the stream in our live chat. It's kind of coul to hear from her and being open to question and answers. Only a few.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Tune in. We here all day.
Yeah, we here in the afternoon here. So just a live event for you guys out of Phoenix. Again, that's Senate candidate Deidre Abood, Muslim American candidate for Senate, speaking to the press and to her crowd. Her slogan, "United We Rise."
I like it.
And talking about the hate. Yeah, because we see that a lot now. Social media is the place for that. That's where people are lashing out on people, and that's where you can kind of do it anonymously, right? Because you have a handle, you have a presence, but you're just typing away. It's like you're in a chat room or something.
Yeah.
So it's easy enough to do that. Anyway, guys, we're gonna bring you back to a bump shot of Miami, Florida. Tropical storm Emily making its way. Check it out here, live camera, live look at this tropical storm as it makes its way. Yeah, it's a little more hazy now, a little more foggy. Live look at the hurricane, guys.
Missed the backdrop.
We're going to be looking for some more sources, whatever comes in for us today, and then we'll come back into the newsroom. Thanks for joining us on Fox 5 Live today. We'll come back in and roll out the show around 2 o'clock. For now, enjoy this bump shot. We'll be back. All right, guys, with that, we're going to come back to the digital newsroom and just remind you that you're watching Fox 5 Live. I'm Molly Nevola here with intern Ben today on this Monday. Happy Monday, Monday motivation for you guys today, going into a new week. We hope that you've sort of enjoyed the stream. If you're new to the show, thanks so much for watching and for engaging with us, guys. I'm going to switch this look here. Come into my camera, Ben. Ben helping me out today on the digital stream. We're kind of looking for a bunch of variety of live news, live sources and stuff that we can bring to you so you know what's happening in the moment and don't have to wait for sort of the nightly news to check in with us. You can just grab your phone and load us up on YouTube or on our website, fox5dc.com. So I just want to remind you where to find us. All our handles are Fox5DC, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all of them. We all have a hand in helping out with them. And you can find this stream specifically on our YouTube page. Go to that button that says subscribe. It's in red. And if you click that, you will become a part of our community, one of our members here at the channel. And then you can see whenever we go up live, which is weekdays around 11 a.m. And through the afternoon. So we catch live press conferences, anything breaking, you know, various chopper video, anything that's happening around here or really across the nation as it goes on. Usually it's a mix of politics, entertainment, breaking events and scenarios and anything really that happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes we talk sports a little bit in here too, as we gear up for, I guess, what, football season's
Yeah,
coming
we
back.
got 2 weeks.
So we got training camp going on.
Yeah, training camp just opened, and we got 2 weeks till like the first preseason game. I know the Hall of Fame game is coming up soon, so just stay tuned for that. Go Redskins!
Oh goodness! All right, Redskins, because we're here in DC. Let us know what your team is, guys. If you're following anything specifically today, you can always feel free to chat with us in that box right on the next to your screen. It says live chat. We're here watching throughout the afternoon, and we love having you guys on with us. So again, not a ton pressing today, but I'm going to leave you guys with a cool little video that I know you're going to love seeing. Brand new baby tiger cub, guys, was born at the Smithsonian National Zoo here in DC. I would love to go see him. Are you a big fan?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of tigers. I mean, I'm a Leo, so you know, it's kind of right there. Yeah, kind of line, you know.
And I've just
inside.
always loved tigers. Yeah, for some reason I have numerous like T-shirts with tigers on them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love them. Very cute. So brand new footage, guys, from the Smithsonian. We're gonna leave you with that and roll out the show for the afternoon. And quick live look at what you're looking at in DC, guys. It's a gorgeous 70-something degree day. There's the Capitol Dome here. Check out those clouds. Perfect day. So we're going to come back in here and say our final goodbye, but leave you with this video of the brand new tiger cub, guys. Enjoy, and we'll see you tomorrow. Join with us again for more Fox 5 Live breaking news and events. Hopefully Ben will be back in around sometime this week.
Yeah.
He's around.
Unless I go, you know, on an assignment.
Excursion. Sometimes he gets out of the house. But for now, guys, great to have you. We'll see you tomorrow at 11. Check out this cute little video to end your day for this show. That is. See ya.